job to stand up. And as soon as I see Alan or I see Charlie come in, we move one chair out, put the other chair in. It's just got to have good ushers.
Well,
Yes.
With all the secondary uses and the moving around and things, does your church have a sexton or maintenance person or somebody who
Nope.
takes care of a lot of that?
Nope, you're looking at them when I'm home. The thing is, we have a cleaning service for the school, and I mean, they'll do the hallways, and they come in and they'll do the sanctuary floors, you know, vacuuming and that kind of. But yeah, they're not polishing anything, and they're not, you know, every once in a while there's a cobweb in the corner, but yeah, most of the time it's just our property team. Sorry, Greg. Our property team that does most of it. Did we run out of tape?
no, I think we're still okay.
Do you want me to go back and start again?
Go back when you
That's
said
right.
10 minutes in. What'd you say?
Let's start with kitchen. So keeping this room flexible, also work from the top down, especially in the worship room. And what I mean by that is, if carpet is driving this project, or anything in this room, like the kitchen is down at the other end of the building, if carpeting's driving, like this is kind of getting old and we really need to replace it, you only get one shot at it. So don't get new carpeting and put these back down and say, oh, I wish we would have went with chairs. You gotta make those decisions now. And then work from the top down. Is the lighting okay? I see you got plenty of lighting, but is the lighting okay? Could you use other accent lighting? That should be part of the project. And again, if the room is flexible, you could actually kind of hide that if it's going to be in this room with a half wall. You all know, you know, half walls are. Now, the thing is, you know, find out what's the highest piece of equipment and not the mic stands with mics on them hanging up in the air, but what is the highest, and then just make a false wall that they can push everything behind the wall, and the wall's movable, flexibility, and you know, kind of just cover it, and then put seating in front of it for the choir. You know, just little ideas that, you know, some congregations say, you know, this is very sightly. Well, then you got to put it somewhere. And sometimes just a movable wall, so they don't have to keep breaking it down, is the best way to go. Yes.
How do you take communion when the
We do standing table, so we go up and then we branch out and do a standing communion.
Okay, when you have the altar in the center?
Oh, we do, yeah, good. Let's see, you're paying attention. We don't commune around the altar in the summer when we're worshiping in the middle. We do communion back up where our altar platform is. That's the only thing we do up at the
And you never kneel?
no.
Sure.
I can't get out of sofas. You want me to kneel?
Is your altar platform, I'm trying to envision this. Say you have someone who has difficulty walking and stepping.
We have a
up.
ramp.
There's a ramp, so, or a walker, a wheelchair, that type of thing could be seen.
Our platform goes from wall to wall.
Okay.
Because we've got the choir up there, we've got our music program up there, and it's only one level, like yours, and there's an L ramp. You have a door there, we don't, but there's an L ramp, and behind, right in front of the L is where we sit, pastor sits there, and the assistant minister sits there, and that's where our pulpit is over here, right where the ramp is.
It might be helpful for some of us with reviewing this, if you,
I've got a list of things that you could say.
no, what I meant was like pictures or whatever, if you
Yes,
have on the
yes,
website,
pictures.
I've got
that'd be really
pictures.
helpful.
Unfortunately, when I fly and not just drive, I've got notebooks of all kinds
Or
of
if they're
stuff.
on your website.
They're not,
Okay.
but I can scan
That'd be
them,
helpful.
or I can I'm going to send a package of stuff anyway.
Yeah.
I will send pictures of
Yeah.
our ramp, and I've got some other pictures of some other ramps that were done. I think one or two were done even right.
I also think if you had some pictures of just the various seating configurations.
Oh, sure.
It would help us
I was
to
just-
envision how it would work.
I was just thinking too, you brought up for me a sore spot, which is that I don't know why when they designed this, they put I know we have to have 2 exits.
Right.
And so we've got one right up front. I don't understand. And we can't move our baptismal font this far over because the fire department throws a fit.
Right.
So I'm just wondering if we'd make something over here, if we could put an exit door right back here and close that off and just make that a nice space to do more.
We designed ours the same way. You need to have one at this end of
It has to
the
be
room.
there.
Yeah, but we turned ours and we put it sideways, so you really can't see it because the ramp has a half wall, so you don't really see the ramp. And that also cuts the door in half, so your eye doesn't go to it. But yeah, ours is on the side. I'll send a picture of ours so you have that. Yes. Oh,
Nope.
didn't raise a hand.
Jimmy, have you? Thoughts?
Seems-
I have a lot of thoughts.
This is the time to bring them up and
Ask questions.
ask questions.
No, he was talking about teaching the warden cabinets, on many restaurants being used. So, press for the room cabinets and that.
There you go, there's the man you gotta talk to.
Press board's right here in town.
And he's cooked many a pancake back there too, so.
It's, you're talking about cooking for a large group, you can't do that. You don't have the people to do that.
Nope.
Everyone says, oh, well, we can cook for a party of 200. No, you can't.
It's hard to do.
You can't do that. You don't have the volunteers to help do the services needed.
No,
But we can create a space that would be easy for caterers or for us to cater things in and have more usable
You can have
space.
a small grill, a better dishwasher for doing dishes for a group, that our dishwasher takes a half an hour to do just a few dishes. You need better equipment.
This is not for you to decide, but I know that there are some people, I mean, they might be excited about getting a new kitchen, but they might also still say, but that kitchen needs to be fixed or something. I mean, I don't know, so we might talk about things that we can do cosmetically or whatever just to make that look nicer.
Cabinets.
Yeah.
and there again, it's your money. So whoever's gonna use that space, again, short term, yes. What do you wanna do short term? You wanna replace the cabinets, you wanna put in new sinks? That's short term. Hopefully, and I keep pointing over here, it doesn't have to be, but, you know, when this is built and you have a new kitchen, who's gonna use that? The one thing you don't want to do on short-term issues is spend too much money. Because then you get Uncle Charlie that says, we spent $50,000 on the carpet and now you're ripping it up. It happens. So just, your short-term projects need to be, again, safety, security, and first impression improvement.
When you talked signage, what are your thoughts about digital signs as opposed to
Are we talking outside?
outside?
We just got that sign, didn't we?
About 7 years ago, that used to be a wooden sign with permanent, and now we have this sign where we have to go out there every time we want to and pull the letters out and everything. We wanted to get a digital sign when we first got that, but the city said no.
Right.
Now we're finding out that the city is
Change their mind.
changing. So,
My home congregation is going through this right now, and we're going digital, and we're going with J.M. Stewart out of Florida. I can send you the information on it, but most congregations are going to more of a digital sign, but not a trailing sign. As I'm driving along, I'm going to get half the sentence, and I'm going to hit the telephone pole, or I'm not going to know what the other half of the sentence was. So ours is actually going to be timed, again, you can time them. And ours is going to have 1 or 2 line messages only.
no pictures or...
No,
Kind of like ODOT.
yeah. And after, we have somebody that's an IT genius guy. So he said you do 2 or usually 2, maybe 3 of these 2 line, and you don't have to get into the sayings and all this stuff. You know, I want to know what's going on. You know, just 2 lines, 3 times, and then your website only. And then 2 more advertisements or announcements, your website. Pastor's name doesn't have to be on it. No telephone numbers have to be on it. I will get all that from the website. But if you're having, like you're having movie night, I'm glad I didn't miss it. I'll come back to that. You're having movie night, that should be one of the signs, and hold it for 10 seconds. I was in commercial real estate before this, and I did a lot with retail. And the signage was for every 10 miles an hour in front of your door, your letters need to be 2 inches. So if it's 40 miles an hour out here, your letters are 8 inches, or I can't read it going 40 miles an hour.
Wow.
So you've got to keep that in mind as well when you talk about signage. That's why 1 or 2 lines, congregations that get 3 or 4 lines of verbiage, I'm sorry, I have no idea what that's in. I just blew right by it. Talking about signage, what even does better than signage to let the community know about you folks is your building exterior lit.
Did you hear some laughter there?
What happened? Is this funnier than the kitchen?
I was going to say you're preaching to the choir, but there's only one or 2 members here from the choir. So.
The lighting's been talked about a lot.
Yeah,
People will see your building and know your location from passing it at night. During the day, there's too much going on, even on that street, for me to pay attention. And that's why I just blew right past your sign. Because I'm looking at other things. And so at night, especially around here, most of it is residential. Your lighting is dimmed. If you've got your building uplit in some fashion, and don't just do a bell tower, because my windshield stops here. Your bell tower's up there. I still didn't see it. But uplit, the front of the building, very inexpensive, and people will know you like that. I did it at my home congregation when we got the new sanctuary, and we're out in the middle of nowhere. I don't know why the church ever planted us out there, but anyway, they did.
Uncle so-and-so had a good deal on the land, I'm sure.
Yeah, exactly.
Is he saying he missed our driveway too?
No.
That never happens, Glenn.
We got the weeds cut down.
You know, Glenn, you picked, now that you mention that,
It's another one.
I don't know if the town's restricting you on the curb cut size. That's what they call the entrances and exits of curb cuts. But your curb cut is small.
Very small. 2 cars can barely.
No, but sometimes they say it can't be more than 50 feet or it can't be wider than, but I would find out what it is. And if you can, flare it so you can get me from both directions and widen it out. It's narrow. Now, the only thing that saved me was I saw your exit and entrance sign. So that was the only thing that saved me. I knew where to turn, otherwise I would have been on the grass. But yeah, on the outside, up like the building. Again, very easy to do. Somebody said this afternoon that there's an electrician. They'll know exactly what I'm talking about. You can buy now LED light bars in all different sizes, and they even have ones that change colors. I don't think you need the one that changes colors, but get light bars, and they're L bracketed to the building. And it's easy to wire them, and they will shine up the building like...
And operations cost, that'll be very...
Oh, it's minimal. See, years ago,
Security too.
you used to have to trench electric, and then the kids would kick them over, or the lawn guy, sorry, Greg, but the lawn guy would mow over them and break the glass, and nobody would ever fix it. Now you can put them right on the side of the building, and it lights up the building fabulously. I have one congregation outside of Baltimore, And they said, oh, look at this after the meeting. They went out and it changed from green to red to blue. I go, oh, but you folks do whatever you want to do. But very inexpensive, and I would know where you are the first night I ride down the street.
What about during the day? How would you make those driveways more visible?
Better signs. I mean, you have signs.
Larger entrance?
Larger signs. Church entrance or something. Right now you just have exit and enter. I don't know if I'm entering or exiting somebody's driveway. Make it more intentional. Church entrance and then especially get me to that back lot. You've got handicap parking out here. Actually, you folks need to say, where do we want a visitor to come in? If you want them to come in this front door, put visitor parking spots out there.
They're there.
There are a couple.
Okay, I didn't
see them.
I rode over because I was on the grass. If that's where you want handicap and visitors parking, then fine. Then direct people there, and then you can put additional parking with an hour to the back. You folks know where to go.
You could
But
put
if
that
everybody's
sign right on the fence.
What fence?
other questions, other things we didn't talk about.
We can call
And
you
this-
later because we'll get more questions. but
Oh, sure.
We can call you.
I didn't have a lot for the sanctuary because, again, this is a motion. And that's what I wanted to talk about. But 2 seconds. And that is, anytime you're dealing with your worship space, it will be paid for. Congregations say, we're going to replace the carpet. That's going to be like $6,000. And we're going to get new chairs. Anything you do in this room, the congregation will pay for it without a problem because it's a motion. And when we built the sanctuary, the carpet was paid for, the lighting was paid for, all the altar furnishings were paid for, and all 220 chairs were paid for without touching the budget. And then we had two families fighting over a backlit cross that was on the east wall. And the one family said, my check came in first. And I said, and you have a partner, and it's called the Joneses, because both of you are buying that. That's how I fixed that.
Wow.
That's true,
So-
because the organ and every single window that you see in here.
You got
is
it.
bought.
So,
Okay, so though, but when we want to build the social hall, or this new building,
that,
take a capital campaign.
exactly. You always back into any kind of a loan. Years ago, and my home congregation did the same thing. They would borrow whatever they could get their hands on, and not really work with the congregation and on a giving to a capital campaign. 3 lines, that's all you have for the finance building team. I'm telling them what to do already. They're not even put together, but